Hello and welcome. My name is Ansel, and I'm the Indecisionist, your dungeon barkeep today. It's still a couple minutes before we get started, but I did want to say hello. And looks like we got a couple people here. I'm glad you said hello to each other. That's very kind. You did. Oh well. I'm glad you were able to pick up on your phone, Patty. Patty says she didn't plan her time well today and won't be back at the desk for a bit. We will endeavor. I will endeavor. I'm the only person here to make it worth the mobile data, or hopefully you're on Wi-Fi. But regardless, yeah, this should be a good one. I'm feeling good about it. I don't know why. I don't have any reason to feel good about it, but I do, nonetheless. So that's a positive thing in my favor, I guess, and our favor. Man, I was gonna give you some updates, but I don't really have anything that I'm not gonna say at the end again. So it's stuff at the end. Ooh, yeah, that's right. Stick around to the end of the video. There's stuff. That's what YouTubers do, right? Well, welcome everyone to my bar. My name is Ansel Birch, the Indecisionist, and I will be your dungeon barkeep today. Sorry, what? My God, there's a lion in the bar. Excuse me. Okay, he talks. Hey, lion, what are you doing in the bar? Jobs? Do I have any jobs available? I'm sorry, sir. I don't. Why don't you try the circus? What would the circus need with a bartender? Okay, that's a fair question, talking lion. Try back on Tuesday. The manager's in then. Huh, okay, well, lion walks into a bar, I guess. So, welcome to the channel. If this is your first time here, first off, welcome, thanks. I'm so pleased you could make it. Secondly, I am about to make a brand new cocktail. A cocktail never before made by any sane human being, because I'm going to choose all of the ingredients and the name for that cocktail. And the name for that cocktail using the roll of some gaming dice. It's pretty simple, and, I'm no expert mixologist. I don't know much more than you do, but I do have an adventurous spirit and a willingness to drink whatever it is that comes out of this completely inane process. So, what do you say? Shall we get started? Sounds good. All right, so the first thing, of course, is to roll our first die, and the first die for tonight is going to be a D4, which will choose an essential mixer. All right, so that's a 3. Adjust that a little bit. Everything got all funky. Oh, come on. There we go. I know, super important. I'm so glad I spent time on that. 3, which on this chart is vermouth. So that's exciting. This is our second vermouth in a row, I think. So that's an interesting shift. We were on this juice bender for a while. All right, so vermouth is going to be the first ingredient going into our cocktail. The next will be chosen by a D6. That's a 1 on the D6. Oop, and we switch over to the garnish list because that's going to be a lime twist. That's exciting. Lime twist. That should be that should add something fun to it. And who knows? Maybe a little lime juice will get in there. We'll see. The next thing to pick is a less essential mixer. So something like a soda or something that's not as important as vermouth. And that is going to be chosen by a D8. If I can get it into the tray. There we go. 8. Simple syrup. We actually haven't had simple syrup go into a cocktail in a little while, so that's exciting. I'm pleased to have that hopping in. I actually started making my own simple syrup. I'm really pleased with how it's turning out, and I cannot recommend it enough because, frankly, it's a million times cheaper and you feel less dumb when you make your own simple syrup. All right, so the last thing to choose for making the cocktail is a liquor. So switch over to the liquors chart and roll a D10. All right, a 6 on the liquors chart is tequila. Exciting, tequila. Okay, this is gonna be weird. This is gonna be a weird one. I'm not afraid to admit that. So we're doing vermouth. twist of lime, tequila, and shoot, what was the other? The other mixer was simple syrup, lime twist, vermouth, tequila. All right. So now we're gonna roll a d12 and see if we can work a bar term in here. So this is the mildly educational, if you squint, section of the program. That's a 9, which is jigger. So I actually have a number of jiggers, so I have a good example for this. Jiggers are these little measuring cups. They're different from measuring cups in that we use them in a bar setting, which is slightly different. These jiggers measure usually in 1 ounce, half ounce, 2 ounce, or some subset of that one. This one's really cool in that it graduates all the way down to a 1/4 ounce and up to 2. That's pretty fun. It also pointed out to me that 4 tablespoons and 2 ounces is about the same thing. So if you ever don't have a jigger, that's a thing you can know now. Thank you, Psycho Pyro, for saying simple. I'm glad you were helping out. I didn't see it in time, but I'm glad you were helping out. Okay, so jigger is our bar term for the day, and I will definitely be using a jigger today because that's a lot of stuff to put into a cocktail. The last thing to choose is, of course, the name for the cocktail, and we're going to use the star die, the D20, to pick the star of the show. So here is our list of names for today. Let me get my head out from under the die tray. And 17, which on today's list is Lost Party. Given the array of stuff in this cocktail, Lost Party feels right. Yeah. Okay, so let's switch over to the bar top cam and see how this all comes together. All right, so here we go. Let's see. There is no reason to shake this cocktail, so I am not gonna. So we're just gonna build this in here and then stir. So I'll go ahead and give it a few d6 of cold damage to start off. Oop. All right, so we got a couple d6 of cold damage in there. And now I'm going to start with a standard 2-ounce pour of tequila. All right, so that's 2 ounces of tequila. Now, the only other things going in here are simple syrup, lime, and vermouth. So I think I'm going to go a little heavier on the simple than I usually would. So that's going to be 1 ounce of simple syrup. I made this one with Demerara sugar, so that's why it's a little bit darker. But yeah, honestly, just equal volumes of sugar and boiling water will get you that. And there's no reason to spend $6 for it at the market. All right. Let's start with a 1/2 ounce of vermouth. I think that was, yeah. All right, so we've got a 1/2 ounce of vermouth, a full ounce of simple syrup, 2 ounces of tequila. And that's gonna do it, aside from garnishing with that lime twist. So yeah, job done, I guess. Just give that a little stir. Let's see. How do I want to serve this? Do I want to serve it with ice? I feel like I do. I feel like the ice is going to be integral. So we'll just rough pour that into a glass. There we go. Set that aside for a sec. And I will make the garnish. So we're just going to do a standard lime twist. I'm going to try not to get too deep into the pith of this lime, but this is honestly a vegetable peeler and therefore not the best at that job. All right, so I am going to express the lime oils over this. Let's see if... Okay, none of that shows up on camera, but trust me that it's a thing that happens. When you squeeze it along the long edge like this, it's going to express little bits of its zest oils into the cocktail. And I'm just going to give it a little twist here. And just going to pop it on top. And we'll come back up. All right, so there we go. It does look like it's going to be refreshing on this hot, disgusting, awful day. Yeah, it really has been pretty gross, and I'm kind of excited about this one. I know some people are not big tequila fans, and if that's you, then this is probably not going to be your drink because most of this is tequila, almost half, but it does have this beautiful color, which doesn't translate because of the magic portal behind me, but you saw it from above. That's got this beautiful, like, light green cast to it. It's really quite nice. So let's see. I mean, I'm not going to be mad about it. That's... You know how sometimes there are... Okay, here's my thought on tequila. Because there are so many people who are anti-tequila. They've had an experience that led them to a bad relationship with tequila. Maybe tequila wronged them at some point in the past. And I have a feeling that this might be the simplest explanation for why that happens. Because there's 2 ounces of tequila in here, and half an ounce of vermouth, which is itself a very light spirit, and then a bunch of sugar water, and it's so smooth. It's so smooth. Like, it tastes like tequila, but it doesn't have any of that bite. It doesn't have any of that aggressiveness of the alcohol. That is all immediately mellowed out, and I think it's the sort of nature of the tequila playing with this sugar water, and I think that's why when you put tequila into these super sweet like tiki drinks and frozen daiquiris and that sort of thing, that's why so many people have this negative response to tequila. It's because it's very easy to drink a lot of as long as you put some sugar in there. And this is a great example of that. Put some sugar in here, it's great. Sugar, tequila, and just a little bit of vermouth. Who knew? So there we are. That's the Lost Party. Or at least, hold on, is that what it was? Once again, Ansel can't remember the name of today's drink. Lost Party, yeah! This is the Lost Party. All things told, friends, I think we've come up with a really good cocktail today. And we did it quickly, so since we've got some time, let's do another one. Why not? Bonus cocktail. Lightning round, though. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and roll these real fast. So let me pull all the dice out of the tray. All right, so that one. All right, so let's start with a D4. All right, that is a 1. Triple sec. Cool. Garnish. Oop. It's not scooching over for you guys. Garnish. There we go. Olives. Triple sec and olives. All right, this was already maybe not a great idea. Mixer. Coke. Triple sec, Coke and olives. Gross. All right. 3. Whiskey, triple sec, olives. God dang it. Oh, man. Good decisions all around. All right. And finally, we've got to name this monstrosity. That's just off camera. So 15. 15. Tragedy in 3 parts. Yeah, it sure is. Okay. All right. So let's do this. Let's do this. Lightning round. Okay. So fresh mixing tin. Triple sec. All right. One ounce triple sec. I'm going to go with a Canadian whiskey. That should be pretty agreeable in this nightmare. 2 ounces whiskey. All right. The Coke and the olive will go in afterward. It occurs to me I could have built this in the glass. This is going to be the opposite of fancy, so I'm going to serve it like it's fancy. All right. Couple D6 of cold damage. Give it a stir. I did, Psychopyro. I dug too deep. Too greedy and too deep. All right. I should have known. All right. Hawthorne strainer. I mean, it's pretty. It's got a good color. All right. So that's whiskey and triple sec. Chilled. Now we move on to olives. These are possibly the least good olives for this purpose. These are garlic olives. Oh, and I'm going to spill a little bit on the mat. That's par for the course, I guess. I like a lot of olives, so why not double down on the bad decisions today and just go ham with the olives. Come on. Get out of there, little jerk. All right. There we go. Olives. All right. And let's keep this trainer rolling with some Coke. Is this a cocktail or just a mistake? Find out at 11. All right, so here's the mistake. Tragedy in 3 parts. Let's see. It's moments like this where I'm reminded of Chaucer's Canterbury Tales, because there's a moment in the Reeves Tale, I think, where Alison, who has been sleeping around on her husband, must be the Miller's Tale, has somehow convinced her husband to accidentally kiss her butt instead of her face. A very specific part of her butt that I don't think YouTube will let me say. And then he exclaims, "What have ye do?" I don't know why I decided to tell you all of that, but what have ye do? This was a choice. I have wrought great evil in this world. Okay. Okay. So it mostly tastes like Coke, which is to its benefit. Considering all the things that could take over in this situation, um, that's probably a mercy to be honest. Um, and then it just sort of tastes like triple sec and Coke, which honestly I don't hate. I don't hate that idea. Um, but the whiskey is not the right choice for liquors to go with Coke and triple sec. So like triple sec is like an orange based citrus liqueur. So Coke and citrus, well known combination. That's good stuff. You could do way worse than Coke and citrus. I will frequently put citrus in my sodas. But that whiskey just it's too whiskey. It's too brown. I don't know. There's something about it that's just not working. And then the thing I will say that's weird is that the olives are staring me in the eye while I'm doing this, and I don't taste them. I don't taste them at all. It's purely that the whiskey triple sec Coke combination is too discordant. The olives are not the problem, but they certainly make it. You can tell by looking at this that it's something that's going to be weird and gross. And I think the olives therefore are, in the long shot, a benefit to everyone in that it sort of advertises what this is. Yeah, I think that's how I'm going to phrase that. So, tragedy in 3 parts, lived up to its name. And the lost party, turns out, they're just lost because they had too many lost parties. I could have spent that time doing the thing I've been trying to do recently, where I tell a little story about this. So I'm just going to real quick try and come up with a story about where the lost party came from. And I think if I were going to tell a story, if I were going to run a D&D game with this drink as the central idea, I think the trick is that triple sec and or not triple sec, tequila and vermouth come from completely separate climates. So I think the beautiful thing about this is that this is the sort of drink that the party has after somebody's been missing for a long time, and you want to give them this wonderful backstory of having been somewhere else and done something exciting that like fills out your campaign world and adds another area or tells a story or introduces a plot hook that you're going to pick up later. When that character's been gone for a while and then they come back, they bring with them either tequila or vermouth, depending on where you are. And then you mix it together and discover that it's amazing. And over that amazing cocktail, the story of this adventure gets to be told. And I think that's the beautiful opportunity that is waiting there. So yeah, I think that's the story I'm going to go with for this one. And now, with all of that handled, it's time for plugs, and I'm going to do them real fast because I'm overtime. I got cocky. So, the only thing I have to plug that's urgent right now is that this weekend, Saturday at noon, is when signups open up for TTRPG Pickup Con 12. That is going to be a big fun event coming up on the 25th through the 27th. But if you want to play, you do have to register to play. and that registration opens on Saturday and will be open until just before the event happens. So check that out. There's a link in the doobly-doo, or you can just go to indecisionist.com, which is where you can also find out more information about the Dungeon Barkeep, where you can sign up for my mailing list. Please sign up for my mailing list, and all that stuff. So all of that is happening at indecisionist.com, where I released a blog post today, and there's a bunch of other cool stuff going on. With that being handled, dear friends, thank you so much for joining me today. Drink adventurously.